Joe Gilloway here at Ted's Bar and Grill. Looking forward to the inaugural Midstate-Sports.com High School Hoops Academy. We're hoping to fill this place up with boys and girls high school players tonight, many of whom are at practice right now as I speak, getting ready for either the Mid-Penn Championships or District 3 or both. So we sort of caught a little window here between the end of the regular season and the beginning of the postseason, and we're hoping to get as many out as possible here tonight. The attitude's already starting to get festive. A lot of people are waiting for the players' arrival, and so we're just hoping that we can bring together a bunch of players from different areas, East Shore, West Shore, Middletown, Cumberland Valley, Milton Hershey, and then right here in the Lower Paxton area as well, and have them just come together and be friends outside of basketball for an evening. I have all the brackets up here. I mean, they know who they're playing, but I'm just going to let everybody else know. Uh-oh. Bishop McDevitt in the first round. Wow. How's that for staying close to home? Probably teams know each other, right? A little bit? All right. Why don't you guys introduce yourselves?
Javon Coxon.
Roland Norfleet.
Roy Sharina.
Okay. Welcome, guys. I was at one of their games a few weeks ago, the Steel High game. And, man, there was a lot of athleticism on the court that night. I mean, it almost went into overtime. I guess it came down to the last shot at the end. What's it like to play Steel High?
It's a fun game. Just because we know each other, we know how they play, they know how we play. It's just a fun game knowing that it's going to be a hard battle till the clock has triple zeros on it.
I think they had you guys down by like 12 early, right? And then it went to 8, and then you guys actually got a lead. I think you got a 1-point lead in the fourth quarter maybe, right? Still high. By a point. Yeah, a Tim Cater jumper at the buzzer, yeah. Actually with 2.6 seconds left. And you guys actually got a shot off, too, at the end, and it was close. It was a long shot, but it was close. So you looking forward to districts?
Of course, man. The chance to go to the chip.
Right. I would imagine that you guys aren't planning on stopping the districts, right?
No, not at all. Not at all. We want to keep going until we can't go no more.
All right. I'm going to ask you, tell me a little bit about the team. And I'm not talking about how you shoot, how you pass, how you rebound, about the team as a unit, as friends.
As friends on the court, I mean, we do our thing. We have our ups and downs, but we can all always work it out at the end and get better.
We're just a goofy bunch. Like, if you come to practice, we're always laughing. No matter if we're shooting free throws, we're always joking with Coach G and Coach O and Coach Dean. It's just you always see laughter around us.
Good. That's a great answer. He said we're just a goofy bunch. And I'll tell you what, a lot of times when a team's having fun, they're winning too. So, I mean, I really believe that. I always say watch out for the teams that are having fun because they're usually winning. Anybody else want to shout out to anyone or anything else you guys want to say? Here we go.
Yo, shout out to my man, Jordan for coming back. Shout out to my man, Quest, Yo-Yo, Coach Jordan, Coach Bill, half-court shots. Quest, I already said Quest. Just shout out to the whole team. Malik, we got everybody up in here.
What? 4A. Classification 4A. Yeah, I guess I should provide that. I have all the notes. I just forgot to let you guys know. Yeah. Did they get enough shout-outs? You guys missing anybody? No. All right, fellas. Well, good luck in districts. Really appreciate you here. I can't wish you only luck, though, because I got McDevitt people here, too. I'm just going to ask you to play the best game you can, all right? All right. Hopefully it goes into triple overtime. Did you get enough to eat? Yeah. All right. Yeah. Thanks, fellas. Good luck. We appreciate it. What we have here is 2 freshmen, a sophomore, and a junior who barely played this year because of an injury. And they finished, just one spot out of districts. So, I mean, I know because I follow the game, and that was a heck of a season for you guys. And I'm also going to say that I'm scared to death about what's going to happen in the future because These girls are ready to go right back on the map. And somebody said they were rebuilding or reloading or something, and I said, no, they're just maturing. You know, they don't need to reload or rebuild. Right here's the players. I guess the first thing I want to say is, Kennedy, you sort of caught the tail end of the state championship players. Whether you were, I don't know if you were on the team or not, but you played under those girls, right? Yeah. So you had the Katie and Kelly, right? And Morgan Bachman, and just some all-time great PIAA girls. And now it's your job to pass it along to these girls, right? Yeah. How is it playing with these girls?
It's amazing. They're just so full of energy. It's so fun to play around them. Yeah, we're just working together, working hard to continue in the future. Okay,
and Abby, I saw that you had a preseason tournament, right? Right. And you made all tournament, right? I did. She's a freshman, okay? And they went out western Pennsylvania, and she made all tournament team as a freshman. And who was in that? Who was in that tournament? Which teams?
Penn Trafford, and do you remember the other team? I forget. Penn Trafford, and there was another team. I'm sorry, I can't remember.
They were good. They were good teams, though. Good programs.
The first game we won, and the second game we lost, but it was close.
So all tournament. That's I know it's more about team and winning, but I followed that, and I said, oh my gosh, I think that girl's a freshman, and she just made all tournament. That was the first time you ever really stepped on the court for varsity, right? Yes. Well, congratulations. Thank you. Okay. Julie's not going to get away with me not asking her about being a J-Cot, right? Do you mind? Okay. Julie's a J-Cot. All right. If anybody knows the J-Cot family, they're one of maybe the first family of PIAA basketball, really. Older sisters are Kelly and Katie. Kelly plays, she's a sophomore at Villanova. Katie's a freshman at St. Joe's. I watched both of them play their whole careers. They have 3 state championships. I guess Katie was on all 3 teams too, right? So now they're just exhaling a little bit before you start to reload, right, for your next one? And I mean that. I think these girls can go all the way here in a year or two. What's it like being a J-Cot? What's it like learning under those 2 girls, your sisters?
I mean, they're just such amazing role models, and I've always looked up to them my whole life, and I just set my goals kind of what they accomplished. So just. Mm-hmm. And
you have a younger sister, right?
I do. Yeah, she's in 6th grade. Her name's Jillian.
Jillian. All right. So if we keep this going, a couple more years, we'll bring her in. You'll be a senior, and yeah, she'll be a freshman. So is everybody's chins up? Yeah. I mean, you guys knew what you're up against this year. I think there's some CD girls in here, and you guys kicked their. I'm a CD guy. I'm their announcer, but I got to say, you guys kicked their tails in over there, right?
Yeah, I mean, we ended up going back, and so it's always good competition between us, and it's fun to play them. Yeah.
She knows how to answer the questions. Always good competition. That was one of the best games I've ever seen, really, a high school team play. I mean, after midway through the first quarter, you guys just hardly did anything wrong. You know, you made shots, you played defense. What about the off season? What kind of training are you going to do in the off season?
I think Kennedy would like to answer this one.
Kennedy?
Well, we have open gyms coming up here in the spring and then the fall. We're all just going to be working hard, working on team bonding and stuff like that, just working to get better.
All right. Anybody else want to say anything? Any shout-outs? Nope. All right. Cumberland Valley girls, everybody. Let's hear it for them. They're from Middletown, and I didn't have time to look at my notes here. Who you guys play in the first round?
York Catholic.
York Catholic. I just saw York Catholic play Saturday. Pretty good. They hung with, I think they played Eastern York maybe? Yeah, and they hung with Central York, yeah, who's a 6A school. Sorry, Coach, but they hung with them for a better part of the game. Well, thanks for being here, first of all. I want to let everybody know that I'm going to help you out here, Kate. Kate's up for Player of the Week this week. So, and she's been up for Player of the Week before, and she hasn't gotten it yet. And I'm not asking you to vote for her just to vote for her. I'm asking you to vote for her because she's a player, and she played very hard. And So unless you have a son or a daughter, well, it would be a daughter actually, vote for Kate Fitzpatrick for Penn Live Player of the Week. You're welcome. So how's the season been so far?
I mean, I think it's been pretty successful. We're just fighting through the hard times. Like, we're a young team, so we just got to keep fighting.
Jay, I was down at Coach Bob Felker and I were down at your game. It was an early game. The end of last week, maybe, like a 6 o'clock game. Lower Dolphin. And Bridget, your mom was a little concerned. I thought, Lower Dolphin might be a little bit out of your league, and they really weren't. You guys hung with them for the better part of the game. What was it like playing out there, Jay, with all those, higher classification girls, maybe some older girls than you guys have on your team?
I mean, LG is a good team. We're a young team. They're an older team. So it was hard to, stay with them, but we weren't that bad against them. We played good. The defense and everything, it was good.
I guess somewhere near the end it started to wear down just a little bit, and I know that you don't get out of the game too often, so it gets tough close to the end of the game because they need you in there. All right. So anyway, is there anybody else in here? Any other players that were on ESPN Top 10? Please report to the table if you were on ESPN Top 10 this year. All right, it's only you, Kate. Kate had 2 buzzer beaters within a week's time, within a couple days, 2 or 3 days. And the second one, she was sort of flying out of bounds or falling out of bounds, and she sort of heaved it over her shoulder a little bit. Am I describing it properly? And it went in to win the game. So what's it like to be on ESPN Top 10? You're the only person I could ask that.
I mean, it's a dream come true. I was just trying to win the game, and when it went in, and the celebration was pretty fun with my team.
It was pretty fun to watch, just getting ready for work in the morning, I got to tell you that. And the last thing I'll say is I first saw Kate play at the Advanced Hoops, the College Expo. I was with Coach Little, and he helped me out. I was doing the announcing, and about midway through, I said, who's that girl with the headband? Because I know most of the players, and I have to say you were top 5 or 6 out of 40 girls that day, and I was very impressed. And Middletown's fortunate to have you. And what year are you in, Jay? What year are you in? You're a uh-oh. So we got both of these girls for 2 more full years. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. We got districts coming up, right? Y'all ready for districts?
Yeah.
Your coach is right over your shoulder. You ready for districts?
Yeah, we're getting there.
Coach, they're getting there. Well, you still got what? You got a week. That's good. 1 day at a time, right? 1 practice at a time. That's a good answer, actually. Girls, thank you very much. Good luck. I was able to introduce them. They're from Milton Hershey. I was able to introduce them to their first Hershey bars ever. Yeah. That's a joke. How was the season at this point? Are you guys in districts?
No, we're not.
Okay. That's all right. Come one, come all. Yeah. You come back next year, we'll talk about going into districts. So how was it anyway? You could still have a very enjoyable, fulfilling season no matter what the outcome is, right?
Yeah. We had a really good season. I can hold this? Okay, great. We had a really good season. I would say just a lot of new upcoming freshmen that we was willing to work with and able to help them out and go through the season so then they're ready for next year and stuff. But just being positive leaders and just showing out and just learning them the game, the fundamentals, basic basketball, and just going through the season and going through the motion.
So things are simmering right now, right?
Yeah. Yeah, after.
Start boiling next year, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh. Hi, I'm Irene P. Bailey. Hello. But yeah, this season our defense was that really helped us win the games. Our defense is really good. Our offense we need to work on just a little bit, but what we lack in our offense we made up in our defense. So we had a lot of steals. We tried to block shots, got rebounds. So it was a really good season overall.
Okay, so they're both seniors. They're both graduating this year. But from what they said, they think they were able to pass on what they know to the younger girls, right? And I'm sure you'll stay and come back and support them, right? I know how the Milts are when it comes to they call the Milton Hershey grads Milts. I'm sure a lot of people here know, and they never abandon one another. I I have friends that are Milton Hershey grads from 35, 40 years ago, and they're still like that. So it's fortunate to be able to be part of that sort of fraternity with peers at that level. Well, ladies, did you get enough to eat? Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, thank you very much. Let's hear it for the Milton Hershey girls. I was over watching Central Dolphins game at East earlier in the season, and a couple of the seniors, or the girls who usually the team relies on for more of the scoring, sort of took a night off with the scoring, and Tasia came out with 12 points. And I walked up to Terry after the game, remember? Yeah. I said, next time we do something like this, I said, you bring that freshman. I didn't even know her name yet. So, and I'm glad you girls are here. We did a live show a few months ago, and in fact, it was right before basketball season started, and it was right when tryouts were happening, and they made sure that they came down. It was at Stilton Hair Barbershop in Stilton, and they made sure that they fit it into their schedule to come down and be with us. So welcome back. Ani, how's everything going?
Everything's good. Thank you. Yeah. Oh, hold it. Okay. Oh.
Okay, we're going to start with Ani, Brielle Green. When I last saw you, I asked you what kind of plans you had for after high school. And her answer was that she's a scholar, right? Have you put any more thought into it? I know you have a real high grade point average. Are there any schools that interest you at this point?
Yes, but I'm still undecided, but I know I want to go into med school, so, yeah.
Med school. So we're going to have two med school students here tonight as soon as the CD girls show up. Oh, another med school. Olivia Macedo.
Yes.
Bloomsburg, okay. Now, who do you guys have in the first round? You have Cedar Cliff, right? Right across the river. It was looking like Governor Mifflin there for a while, right? Yeah. And I guess Cedar Cliff bumped up. I think, I think you guys can play with anybody in the district. What do you think?
Of course. Yeah. I think we can hold our own.
I think that maybe at the top 3 or 4 aren't quite as strong as last year. I mean, it was a little more of a struggle. Central Dolphin girls won districts last year, and that wasn't easy. They had to play 26-0 Cedar Crest in the semifinals, and then, of course, Cumberland Valley, who was the reigning back-to-back state champ. And I see it this way. I think that you guys could win a couple games and get yourselves right into position to get to the finals. I really do.
Right. Yeah, I think we're, putting in a lot of hard work, and we kind of shocked everybody this season. We didn't have the type of season that everyone expected us to have, which really helped us early on when we beat the teams like CD and stuff like that. So, and beating Cumberland Valley twice was, it also helped us a lot because they had really high strength of schedule, so.
Right. Are you ready for districts, Tasia?
Yeah, I'm excited for districts.
Are you? Are these girls showing you the way?
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. I guess the last thing I'll say is, did the Central Dolphin girls show up yet? Are they back there? All right. And it's a neat relationship because I went to Central Dolphin, and a lot of my friends went to East. In fact, there's some of them sitting over there at the bar. But these girls are friends outside of basketball. I know that. And you can't tell that once they get on the court. That's for sure. I mean, they go hard.
Coach says we're not allowed to have friends on the court, so.
Coach said they're not allowed to have friends on the court.
We're not even allowed to talk to them before the game.
That's good. Yep.
We're not even allowed to look at them.
Oh, not even allowed to look at the CD girls before the game. Anybody. All right. Well, did you get enough to eat? Yeah. You can get up, but stay here. I want to get you guys some gear to take with you, okay? Nice to meet you, ladies. Thank you. East High girls heading off to play Cedar Cliff in the first round of districts. I guess I got to start with this. What's it like playing for Joe Bressy?
It's a fun experience. It's interesting, very interesting.
Joe Bressy's a good friend of mine. That's their coach, and he wins. He's a great coach, and he was nice enough to make sure that the girls came out, and he and his wife are here tonight too. He's probably back there laughing. I want to get him up too once the players are done. So you girls have what, a first-round bye, and then you play Northern Lebanon? How do you get stuck playing such a good team after having such a quality season? Typically, when you have a season like you had, you get a little break, but Northern Lebanon's no joke.
Well, we started out really good, and I think we continued through, and we were fine, but lost a couple games late in the year, and so we dropped down at the last minute. So
I'm sure Coach doesn't has the same plans for you no matter what seed you are and what team you're playing. So anyway, in terms of you have a young team, right? My understanding is you don't have any seniors one senior that gets significant playing time, but other than one senior. So they're bringing back every player that gets significant playing time except one senior. And what year are you, Treasure?
I am a junior.
I remember seeing you play last year. So you think you have a nice nucleus to – and I'm not trying to get ahead. You're still shooting for a state championship this year. I know that. But it sounds to me like – and from speaking to your coach, like there's a nice group of players coming back next year too, right?
Our starting five is 4 juniors and 1 freshman, so, yeah.
And who are we missing from your starting 5 here tonight?
Liv, Jasmine, and Lexi.
Liv, Jasmine, and Lexi. Liv's the scorer, right?
She got her 1,000 this year.
Yes, she did. And you know what? While you're up here, since you mentioned that, now maybe some of you coaches or fans can help me here, but I want to recognize some scoring milestones this year. These are ones I'm aware of. If I'm missing anybody, please let me know. Diamond Bragg from Camp Hill, she eclipsed 1,500 points this year. Ryan Hughes from Middletown, 1,500 points. Amber Schweiger from Lower Dolphin, 1,000. Olivia Fasik, who Treasure just referred to as Liv, 1,000. Tim Cater from Steel High just 2 or 3 weeks ago, and he's already passed by a few of his fellow Steel High alum, so he's moving up. He's a little over 1,100 now, or 1,125. Casey Caruso from Lower Dolphin eclipsed 1,000 points. Carter Van Syok from Shippensburg, 1,000. All right, here's a big deal. Amaya Woodyard and Dejanay Brannon, teammates, both passed 1,000 points in the same season. That's a big, big deal there, and I'm hoping they show up tonight. Coach Lee said that he was going to bring them, and which moves me on to my next trivia question before we finish up with the girls here. This is a tough one. You guys might have to go to your parents or coaches for this one. Okay, I just mentioned that that Dejanay Brannon and Amaya Woodyard were teammates that eclipsed 1,000 points in the same season. Only one time in PIAA history, boys or girls, did 2 teammates both pass 2,000 points in the same season. Does anybody know? They both got to 2,000 points in the same season.
Can I guess the school? It's Dilton. Yeah.
You know who they were?
It was Malia Tate.
No, not Malia. Malia scored way more points than these guys. Aaron Gress got it, but Aaron, this is only for the kids. I don't think anybody's going to get it. Anybody? Huh? Jermaine Hawthorne. Did you get a shirt yet? It's Tremaine Hawthorne and Tristan Crawford from Steel High. And they also won the state championship that year. She guessed. We're going to give you guys shirts. Okay, any shout-outs to anybody, or whether they're here or not, because this is all going on film, too.
Shout out to Spencer Griggs, our #1 fan.
Spencer Griggs?
My parents, my mom and dad, they're very supportive of my sports. So.
Shout out to Jaya Brown, my best friend.
All right. Ladies, thank you very much. Good luck. I know you're in good hands with Coach Bresci, that's for sure. The 3 of these guys, I've known Mason since Can you know somebody since before they were born? I've known his father for 30-some years. But the other guys I met, Bill and I covered the football team as well. And they had a good season this year. Probably not quite where you wanted to end up, right? But they were a little short on players. A lot of guys had to play both ways. But that's when I got a chance to meet these three. And Ryan, I got a chance to watch you play for the first time just last week in that it looked like an NBA All-Star game against Redland. What was it, 87-73 final? Are you having fun? I don't even think you started the season on the varsity roster, did you?
No, I didn't.
What happened that you went from not even being on the varsity roster to the team's leading scorer?
I know it's different. I really wasn't expecting that, but I guess I did good.
Are you having fun playing with all these old guys? Good. And so we got one senior, right? Grant, I want you to tell the guys, because I don't remember what it's called. Grant just made a pretty elite all-star team, football all-star team. Explain what that is.
It's the PFSCA East-West All-Star Game. It's kind of like the younger brother of the Big 33. And it was just, I got nominated for it, and I'm honored to play in it.
So basically it's an all-star game, and Grant described it as the younger brother of the Big 33. So you know there's talent in that game. And Grant just committed to IUP, right? IUP? And the big news, or the cool news, is who's going to be your quarterback out there?
Yamir Wilkerson from Harrisburg.
Yeah, Yamir Wilkerson from Harrisburg. They're going in together as freshmen. And your dad just the other day told me that, and I lit up. I got a big smile on my face because I loved watching Wilkerson play. I think he's got a cannon, and I'm looking forward to coming out and watch you guys play together. I mean, I know you still got some work to do to put yourselves on the field, you know, but that's got to be a good feeling to be able to, you know, go out to school with somebody that's from your area, that kicked your tail in earlier this year on the football field. That was one heck of a team. And so anyway, looking forward to next year. Everybody's playing again except for Grant?
Yeah.
Have you started football yet?
Yeah, I started this week, coming out of basketball season, going in the weight room.
And I talked to Mason's dad earlier today, and he said that he would be over after football. What were you doing today, football related?
I came in, lifted. We had to do our tests today, so felt a little weak, but I gotta get back into it. So.
Yeah, they have Coach McNamee. They have a football coach like Joe Bresty's a basketball coach. He makes them go hard, and the results are there though. I don't think you guys would have it any other way. Coach McNamee's one heck of a coach, and he cares about you guys as young men too. So I want to thank you guys for coming. Appreciate it. Did you get enough to eat? And we'll be talking to you next year in basketball, that's for sure. I really enjoyed watching you play.
I'm Faith.
Nadia.
Jay Ballin.
That's Jay Ballin.
Carol. Grace. Sam.
All right, so this is the CD girls. Sam was just up here 10 minutes ago. She was one of the players that collected a card. She was just Penn Live Girls Player of the Week a week or two ago. I think the last time they chose it. So, and she's having one heck of a season. I mentioned to a couple people that she had the same type of week right before that, and then the same type of week right after that. It just so happened that was the week that she was chosen Player of the Week. So anyway, let me start with. No, we're going to keep it light. Trust me. We're going to keep it light. These girls are used to me and my microphone. Bill and I sort of do some season-long coverage for the CD girls team, and we have a blast. It's really, really fun. But Nadia, last time you and I spoke, you were a nervous wreck because you didn't know if you guys were going to hold on to the number 4 seed, right? How did it turn out?
We all good. We got the 4 seed, so yep.
What we're saying is the top 4 seeds in 6A, at least for the girls. It's probably the same for the boys. They get a first-round bye and then a second-round home game, and that's a big deal. I mean, it doesn't mean you can't win having to play in the first round, for sure, but just to get a couple extra days of practice or maybe a little extra rest, and then you get to bring a good team into your gym. You just played Linglestown, 2 or 3 weeks ago, right? That was a tough one, wasn't it? Yeah. Don't talk about it. Now Linglestown hasn't won yet. Okay, they told me to keep it light. They don't want to talk about Linglestown. But no, they have to come to your house this time around if they win. They play Conestoga Valley in the first round, and so Jamie, did you have enough to eat?
Oh, plenty, yeah, a lot of wings.
Okay, I don't think they want to talk about basketball. They just shut me down when I was. Sam, you want to talk about basketball, don't you? Okay. Sam, what are we looking forward to if you do have to play Linglestown? What kind of a team is Linglestown?
Pretty tough team. They got solid bigs and a good shooter, but I think the way we are going to handle the defense is going to shut them down.
Yeah, they have, I don't know their names, but number 22 and number 31. I just saw them play last Saturday night down at Dover, and they're both players. That 31's like a power forward, and she can drain threes all night. So, who's back here? Carol?
Hey.
How's things going so far, Carol?
Great food.
Great food. Carol's a player that she seems to score when you need her. Like Sam does a lot of the scoring, and Grace has done a lot of scoring this year. But it's very timely. Whenever one of these girls sort of doesn't have the game you're looking for out of them offensively, Carol puts up double digits, right?
Yeah, sure.
Yep. And where are you heading for school next year? Have you chosen yet?
No, I haven't chosen yet. I'll let you know when I do, though.
Okay. She's going to let us know when she does choose a school. Faith, where are you heading after high school?
I'm headed to University of Mary Washington.
University of Mary Washington. And the sort of neat story behind Faith, and she is playing basketball at Mary Washington. And we talked about this before the season. She also wants to end up as a doctor. We just had another player up here that wants to go pre-med. But until this off season, Faith hadn't planned on continuing her basketball career after high school, right?
Yeah, I didn't want to play in college. Just wanted to focus on school.
What happened over the off season that you decided, hey, Mom, hey, Dad, I want to play basketball after high school?
Well, I wasn't really ready to give it up, and I knew the team that was going to be this year, it was a special team, and I knew I didn't want to give any of that up yet.
Okay. Anybody want to do any shout? I know you can't see anybody. It's like the sun here in our eyes. Any shout outs for anybody? Now this is going to be. Coach Bob Felker. He works these girls out, and he said, "Bring your towels tomorrow." That's not a fun.
I'd like to shout out Coach Bob. Yep, he gets us through the fourth quarter. Every fourth quarter, he gets us through. Yep. And after Christmas, he gets us through the third. You know, after eating all that food. He's getting us.
Thank you. All right. And then the one last thing I'll ask Grace about. You guys went down and played in the Diamond State Classic in Wilmington, Delaware, right? Between Christmas and New Year's. And some of the competition down there in Wilmington was literally some of the top teams in the country. And they left with a win. I mean, you know, the goal there is certainly to try to win what you can. But even leaving with a win, they had a triple overtime win against the defending state champion in Delaware, right? What was that like? Because you played an important role in that triple overtime win.
I think it showed that we can really play as a team and we can like come together and not like keep going and not give up when things don't go our way.
So you think you guys grew from that experience?
Yeah, on and off the court. Like off the court in our downtime, we really bonded as a team and it was just really fun.
Yeah, we heard about that. The saran wrap.
Yes.
We don't need to get back into that. All right. So anybody want to say hi to anyone?
Hello to Randolph.
Randolph Armando.
Where's Randolph? Oh, he's at the back. Coach G, they said hello. Oh, there he is. I thought she was like talking about her grandfather at first or something.
Watch out for Central Dauphin this year.
Just shout out to all our coaches. Thank you for everything you do for us and for all the preparation you put us through throughout these last 3 years.
Hi, Mom. Hi, Dad.
Shout out coaching staff.
All right. Central Dauphin girls, everyone. Thanks, ladies. Cedar Cliff boys. Now, here's a team I'm not familiar with personally. I follow you guys. I know that you guys are responsible for helping to turn that whole program around. You want to introduce yourselves?
Justin Gauze, DeAndre Dorsey.
Patrick Wiesling.
Gerald Jarman.
All right. I work with your dad at Advanced Hoops. He's a good man. I heard you're a good player, too. So I didn't have time to do my homework here. Who do you guys have in the first round? Harrisburg. Okay, Cedar Cliff and Harrisburg, first round of districts. Nobody has an excuse not to get there. What's the season been like so far?
It's been good. Had our ups and downs, injuries here and there, but I think it went good overall.
It's hard. Let me mention that most of the teams, even the better teams in the area, have 4, 5, 6 losses. I mean, there was a time where you thought if you were a really good team, you'd have a loss or two. It's been a grind, I think, for everybody this year, boys and girls. If you walk away with 3 or 4 losses this regular season, you've really accomplished something. And even if you have more than that, that doesn't mean that that you can't win districts and move on, right? You have Coach with you tonight? Is he here? Okay, there he is. Ty Savercool. Thanks for bringing him over. What do you expect to see out of Harrisburg?
I expect to see a lot of nitty-gritty basketball. They like to throw the ball to the rim and just go get it. So a lot of box out and toughness will definitely win us the game.
Yeah, that could be a playground game, and I'm sure you go into a game like that and you have a lot of set plays, and you're still going to run a lot of set plays, but sometimes once things break loose a little bit, you just got to try to keep up, or they have to try to keep up with you. I mean, it's not necessarily the other team that's going to set the pace. Somebody's got to figure out that this is our game, and the other team has to adjust to them, right? So how's the season been so far?
It's been good. Like G said, we've definitely had our ups and downs with a lot of injuries. But, we really battled through a lot of that, and we've had some tough losses too. But I think we're in a place that we'd be pretty happy with at the beginning of the season looking back at it.
Right, and that's important. And all that's behind you now. Is everybody healthy now?
Pretty much, yeah, for the most part. We'll be good for Tuesday.
Just got your late season dings, right? Bumps and bruises. I think every student athlete in here has late season bumps and bruises. So we want to wish you guys good luck. Thanks for coming out. Did you get enough to eat? Yeah, we're still eating. Thanks, fellas. Oh, shout outs. Anybody want to shout out to anyone? I
got to shout out my boy Mo Clark, Reese. Shout out Richard. He the realest.
I'm going to shout out my mom for everything she's done for me.
All right, Mom. Good one. Let's hear it, Moms.
Oh, yeah, definitely my mom, and also free Malcolm.
Shout out my mom.
All right. Fellas, thank you very much. Best of luck in districts. Grab yourself a Hershey bar. Thanks, my man. Nice to meet you. Okay, so we got the Susquehanna girls here. Thanks for being with us. And introduce yourselves.
Lauren Pettis.
Lexi Weichert.
Kaya Rucker.
And I'm friends with your uncle. Do you know that? Is he here? Is Frank here?
Right there.
Oh, there he is. Hey, Frank. How you doing? Well, ladies, thanks for coming out. And you played for Coach Bresci in AAU, didn't you? Mm-hmm. How was that?
It was good. I liked it. It was fun.
All right. Sorry, Carol. I had to bring Joe back into it. No, I'm sure you're a better player for it. That's for sure. Districts. Who do you have first?
West Perry.
And you guys were sort of on the cusp there for a little while, right? And came on strong at the end. Tell the people about the big game you won just 2 weeks ago?
Against Cedar Cliff, yeah. Right. Really big.
Right. And that was maybe one of those must-have kind of games, right? You were getting down at the end, and you had to have it, and you did.
Yeah, our whole team came together.
And that's the thing about any sport, really. It doesn't matter where you're coming from. You know, you could just stop at a certain point and say, we had enough. Now let's go on a run and let's get ourselves into districts. Good. So, how many how many teammates? Do you have any other teammates here? Okay. I thought there were 4 of you. I was going to say. Okay. So you have West Perry first. Do you have any experience with West Perry? Have you ever played them?
No, we haven't. This is our first time playing against them. Yeah.
I think they play down a division, right? But then they're the same classification.
I think so.
Okay. Have you all played in districts before? All 3 of you?
For our last 2 years, we have, and then we only made it to the first round. We didn't get to the second.
Okay. So what are your plans for after high school?
I'm going to college for basketball.
Where are you going?
Shippensburg.
That's it. Shippensburg. Where's Coach Bob? We'll come watch you play. Yeah, we like to. And you'll be Ariel Jones's teammate, right? Yeah. She can play. Yeah. You ever play with her or against her? No, not. Yeah, we were just out there 2 or 3 weeks ago, and Ariel Jones from Cedar Crest is a freshman at Shippensburg, and she's already she can play, and that's a good program. So congratulations for that. How about you, ladies? You're a senior, right?
Mm-hmm. I'm playing basketball in college.
Do you know where yet?
Goldley Beacom.
Oh, you have to come again with that.
Goldley Beacom.
Goldley Beacom. I'm sorry.
It's a little school in Wilmington.
Okay, good. You know what? I think Frank just told me that last night. Good. Well, congratulations. How about you?
Going to school and playing basketball.
Do you know where yet?
Penn State Mont Alto.
Penn State Mont Alto. So we got 3 girls heading off the districts and then heading to play at the next level after this year. Let's hear it for the Susquehanna Township girls. Shout outs before you leave.
Shout out my mom.
Okay, Mom's over there. Hey, Mom.
That's it.
Oh, that's enough.
My teammates, because they don't get enough credit.
My mom and Coach Scott.
All right. So moms and teammates, that's great shout outs. Thank you, ladies. Everybody, this is Coach Joe Bressy, currently the girls basketball coach at McDevitt. Give us a quick resume, though. This all started when? Well, I know it started along with wrestling, but back in the 70s, where'd you start?
1976 at McDevitt, first girls basketball game.
And that was to what, the mid-'80s or late 80s?
86 before I went to Bloomsburg University. Yep.
And I know at that time, just as a student and a fan of the game, you probably had, let's call it one of the more elite programs in the area, because I don't want to step on anybody's toes here. But when you thought girls high school basketball in the Harrisburg area, you thought Bishop McDevitt and Coach Bressy, that's for sure. And then you went on to coach what, boys in college?
Men's program at Lycoming after Bloomsburg University.
And what did you accomplish there at Lycoming?
We won a few championships. It was good, yeah.
So Joe's got experience coaching boys, girls, men, women, and he also coached what, wrestling and what else, and football way back when. So whatever you need, Joe's your man. Lacrosse, could you do lacrosse? He probably could. I'm sure he could. I guess the most important question, I'll let you go after this one. What the heck got you back into coaching?
I must have been nuts, because that's what my wife says. But I had a couple players that played for me in the 80s that had daughters that were playing, and they asked me to come back and coach them, so I did.
That's a good enough reason. So, well, good luck in districts, Coach. Yeah, you're Coach Bob's captains. You got to step up. Yeah, you're right. All right. So you guys are right now getting ready to start districts, right? Yeah. One game at a time, one practice at a time. Could you see you guys playing down at Giant Center in front of thousands of people?
Yes, because of course we would see us down there. You'll see us. We're working very hard. Very hard.
Yeah, they're working very hard, and they've had a nice season to this point. Won some big games. I also want to mention that these girls swing, meaning they play JV and varsity, and their JV team finished off the season 15-1 this year, And I don't know if you get anything for that, but you get the recognition, certainly, of being 15-1, and that's a big deal. So let's hear it for the CD Lady Rams JVs, 15-1 this year. Yep. That's another party. All right, so you want to do any shout-outs? Because this is going to go on film. And
Well, I would like to shout out my best friend, Sam Gress. She's balling out. I guess. I mean, I'm better, but it's okay. It's okay.
I'm sorry, Coach G. I have no control over this.
I know you want to shout out. I'll shout out Coach Bob. He's the man. Yep. Okay. Yeah, my mom. She's great.
All right, ladies. Thank you very much. Did you get enough to eat? Yes. Take some more candy bars before you leave. You can get a T-shirt too. Do you have any of your teammates here? Or are you two just representing? All right, cool. All right, so anyway, they're coming from practice. Is Coach Crawford here? Good. They play for first-year head coach Tristan Crawford, who was, I use the word quite often, but I only use it when it applies. Coach Crawford was a legend at Steel High as a player, 2,000-point scorer, back-to-back first-team All-State, and a state champion in basketball. So I should have my homework done here, but who you guys got in the first round of districts?
We play the winner of Camp Hill and Trinity at Central Dauphin East.
So you did get the bye then, right? Okay. And Jarvey, you had a football injury, right? Was that a football injury? Jarvey just came back about a month ago. I saw his first game back. And there may have been some question marks with the team before you returned, but everything seemed to really get on the right path once you came back. Are you enjoying being a teammate with these guys?
Yeah, I'm enjoying it. I missed it. Yeah.
Both these guys are football players. I think, almost your first 7? Everybody but Jelani? Okay, yeah. So basically with Steel High, and it's not just this year, it's for decades. It's a smaller school, and most of the basketball players play football, and most years the football team goes pretty deep. They went to the state semifinals this year, right? So they finished top 4 in the state, and it takes a while to get your basketball legs under you, right? So do you feel like the team's at the place it needs to be, at least today, Tim?
Yeah, definitely. We're playoff ready. Everybody's 0-0, and we're just ready to go.
Good. So you get to – I talked to your dad probably 3 weeks ago, right? Tim's dad and I, we communicate, mostly text and stuff like that. But at the time, you guys were seeded 5th, and he was worried. And I said, Tim, one game at a time, they'll get back where they need to get. You know, you're not going to go from 5 to 2 like that. But you grinded, you won some big games, and now you got a first-round bye, and it looks like you're healthy going in, right? And, Jarvey, I want you to let the people know you just had a career-high game, a couple days ago? Who was that against, and what'd you score?
CD East and 33.
Jarvey scored 33 against East a couple nights ago. That's a game there. Do you have any assists? Okay, he had a couple assists. We got to make sure you distributed the ball, too, a little bit, right? And, Tim, I want to say, too, and we're friends with Tim here at Linglestown Gazette Sports, but he made his announcement a couple months ago now that he's going to continue his football career at West Point. And so let's hear it for Tim Cater. He's going to West Point to continue his education and football career as a cadet. I proudly wear an Army cadet hat now. So where's the rest of your teammates? There's Coach. Where'd Coach go? This is Coach Tristan Crawford, first year. He got my vote for Mid-Penn Coach of the Year, at least in his division or conference, because he took over a situation that it really wasn't that bad, but there was a lot of sort of question marks, right?
Oh, absolutely. When we have 1, 2, 3, 4. We got about out of our top 7. We have about 6 football players. I mean, it's difficult. Our football team did a very good job this year. They went very deep in the playoffs. Districts in state as well. Got them back late. But like you said, we're coming together here now.
And the guys that just got in, would you please introduce yourselves?
Amik Jenkins.
Amik?
Amari Randolph.
Amari Randolph?
Jay Sean Ramsey.
And he's a linebacker too, right? That's a scary man. I'm gonna tell you. When it's 25 degrees and the breath's coming out of his mouth, you get out of the way.
Jelani Isom.
Jelani Isom.
Malachi Young.
And Malachi Young. And Malachi was also the quarterback. Who, Malachi? I never saw Malachi on the defensive side of the ball. Sorry, Malachi. But Malachi, let me mention this, that you've been around now for 4 years, and you were part of the 2015 district championship team, right? And, I mean, they might still be in here, but the Susquehanna and McDevitt guys, but you guys knocked off Susquehanna Township and McDevitt back-to-back in like within 2 or 3 nights. And that was one of the greatest accomplishments I've ever seen, seriously, as watching basketball, because it wasn't supposed to happen. What was that like, being on such a big stage, under such bright lights in Giant Center for those games?
Well, it was fun. Everybody picked us to lose, and we knocked off, West York, Susquehanna.
He said everybody picked them to lose. I'm a huge Steel High fan. I think I picked you to lose.
It's cool. It's cool. Like, we just came out and played basketball, roller basketball, like we about to do this year.
Yeah, Coach Binder got them to buy in and got them to believe in one another, and it was just still one of the greatest, at least district titles I've ever seen. So, guys, are you ready for districts?
Of course. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I want to ask Coach Crawford, maybe a third of the way through the season, the team was struggling a little bit. I don't think you were getting out of them what you were hoping for. And what did you tell me what you told them at halftime if they didn't turn things around?
I was going to make changes. We would change the lineup and get guys that were going to bring energy and give us a different perspective on the game. So they responded. I think Malachi and Jelani both responded, with the adjustments. Jelani, I started to bring him off the bench towards the end of the season, and he responded well. Now he's back in the starting lineup, and he's playing at the peak of his game right now.
I think the actual quote was, I went in the locker room and told them I'm going to start all JVs if they didn't turn it around. Okay, so he did say that, right? Now, that would be a different twist, to just bring your whole JV team in and start them. But he said you responded, though. I mean, yeah, Jelani said he would actually do it. That's the thing. That's a sign of a good coach, because, you had enough. But it seems like they've responded. And, I know that you're big on grooming the young man first before the athlete. And, you were pretty confident going into the season that this was going to be a group of guys that you'd be able to do that with, to help grow into good young men. And have they responded to the discipline? I know you got a high level of discipline.
Yes, everyone but Jarvey. I'm still trying to get him where he needs to be behavior-wise. He has his days at practice. I tell him no more shooting, put him in the basket. Jarvey's that one kid that always wants to Coach, let me just get one more shot at the rim. Every once in a while he'll throw it up. Everyone has to run, so they're looking at Jarvey like, come on. So Jarvey's a little bit more work, but everyone else is right where they need to be.
Well, if you could have everybody but Jarvey respond, then you still got some season left with him, right? Fellas, anybody want to give a shout-out? This is going to go on video, and if you guys want to say hi to anyone.
Shout out to my pops. Shout out to my fam. Yeah. Shout out to my whole family. Yeah, that's okay.
Shout out to all the dudes that taking charges out these days. Wait.
Shout out to the people who respect roller basketball.
The people that respect roller basketball.
Yes, sir. Our fans.
Fans?
Go Army. Beat Navy.
All right.
Shout out to everybody that supported us.
Shout out to Stilton.
All right. So we got Pops, family, Stilton fans. Army. All right, fellas, thank you so much. Appreciate it. Guys, the Steel High boys earned themselves a first round Malachi. Thank you very much. Nice to meet you, man. They are the Commonwealth Division champions for 2017-2018, and that's a big deal. It seemed like every year Cumberland Valley's the champs. At some point, somebody else got to get it, right? Right, Coach?
Somebody had to beat them, but that just shows, the power of our conference. We've been second a couple times, so feel good to be first.
Seems like you're second just about every year.
Us and Central Dauphin.
Right, yeah.
When Bill was at Central Dauphin, they were winning it.
Exactly. You girls were part of a trivia question I asked earlier, and I don't know where it is, but I'll just say congratulations. You each scored your 1,000th point this year, right, as teammates, and that's a big deal. It's tough to score. You've been around for a while. It's tough to have a player score 1,000 points, and when you have two that do it in the same season, that's really special. So congratulations to these girls. 1,000 points each this year. You guys ready to go into districts?
Most definitely. Come back.
You're seasoned vet at this, aren't you?
Yeah, we come back for revenge.
Come back for revenge. So Susquehanna got you last year, right? That was a little bit rough there at the end. But we got to move on, right?
We got to win this week first.
Okay, yeah. No, I mean, you got to move on from that loss last year. You ready for districts?
Definitely.
Okay. Dejanay, you were first team all Mid-Bend Commonwealth last year, I know for sure. You both were. Okay. So you were a sophomore last year, right? You're a junior now, and you're a senior, right? Yep. You're a senior. Where's Bree?
She couldn't make it.
Okay.
Trying to get her here, but she couldn't make it.
Amaya's backcourt mate is Brianna McCullough, and the two of them together represent, I would say, probably one of the better backcourts in the state, I think. And there's certainly other ones, and I'm not, privy to all of them, but between Amaya and Bree, that's one heck of a backcourt. And then when you got, can I call you Nene? Dejanay goes by Nene. When you got her down low, that's just tough. And I know one thing, and I told Coach Lee this. I'm from out this way. I announce for Central Dauphin. I'm a Central Dauphin fan. But when we're not playing you, we're fans of you, okay? And we were happy that you guys had a chance to win. And I sent him a message like a day or two before we played Mifflin County. And I said, don't worry, we're going to take Mifflin County out because you guys needed to finish out with wins, and you needed Mifflin County to lose. So what did it feel like being Commonwealth Division champs? Do you know how important that is, the level of competition that's in the Commonwealth year in and year out?
Yeah, we worked hard for this, so it paid off. In this Commonwealth, we put in work day and day in the gym, and yeah, it just happened.
Does Coach Lee work you hard?
Yes, every practice. There's no breaks, nothing. Same energy every practice.
He said that's not true. She said no breaks. He said that's not true. He's a softie. There's what's called a player's coach and then not a player's coach.
He's a player's coach.
All right, they got it straight for you, right? Okay, well, you guys want to do any shout-outs?
Yeah, free Meek Mills. Shout out Coda. Shout out Nikki. Shout out Todd. Shout out Lady Cougars. Shout out our coaches.
Well done. How about you, Coach?
Shout out to the Lady Cougars, and let's take care of Shippensburg tomorrow, and hopefully Thursday we can cut down nets as the Mid-Penn tournament.
That would be, and you may end up playing right down here at Central Dauphin. Do you know that? Yes. And hopefully, depending on what Milton Hershey does. So thank you. Good luck. We'll be following you, into March here. Ladies, thank you. Take whatever you want here. Take some more candy bars. And the Harrisburg Lady Cougars, everyone. I know that you guys are diamond, especially you right now. You're busy with a new venture. I'm going to allow you to talk about that a little bit in just a couple minutes. And I'm not going to allow anybody to forget that you're one heck of a player too, Passion. and I'm a fan. And naturally, this girl gets most of the attention because she's a baller. I mean, she's one of the better players to ever come out of this area. She's going off to Wisconsin. But Passion's a heck of a player. They're sisters, by the way, for whoever didn't know. And in your own right, I think you're one of the better players in the area. So I just wanted to acknowledge that. So how's it feel? Everybody, the bumps and bruises okay?
Yeah, I mean, we have some time to recover. We have a week or two till we start district, so it's just using this time to get better and get ready. So.
How you feeling, Passion?
Pretty good. We're coming back from a lot of injuries, so we're just resting up.
Yeah, you guys played some tough games this year, and you're not in the Mid-Penn tournament. Unfortunately, you guys want to play as much as you can, right? Get as many titles as you can, right? But the other side of that is you get to rest up a little bit, and just because you're not in the Mid-Penn doesn't mean that you can't make a run like you did last year. Did you go the whole way to the state final or state semifinal?
Yeah, we got to quarterfinals actually. So yep, quarters.
So I'm sure the sights are set on at least a little bit higher than that, right? One game. That's been the theme all night. Everybody's going one game at a time. Did you see Larry over there? Okay. Uncle Larry from Payer, Play at Your Own Risk Apparel. That's Diamond and Passion's uncle. Thanks again for bringing the clothing. So there's no first round bye for your school, right? You go right into in District 3.
Well, because there's not as many teams in our area, since we're a double-A school, we go straight to the semis basically in district. So we'll take on, I think it's Columbia now, and it's Wednesday the 21st. So we're getting ready for that game right now. What's your experience, Passion? Last year, you guys got to the state quarterfinals, right? That's what Diamond just said. Where do you hope to be this year?
Hopefully we make it all the way. We're just also taking one game at a time, so we're just going to hope for the best.
And I guess the last thing I wanted to mention here, and their father's here, Ben, and he explained to me a couple weeks ago that Diamond's been given the opportunity she's earned the opportunity to do something very special that typically a 17 years old, 18-year-old isn't able to do. And she started a foundation as an 18-year-old that's going to help student athletes. And I don't know a lot about it, so I'm going to let her. Do you mind talking just a little bit about it? But it's going to help student athletes go on to college, and some that may, without this, would not be able to. So, Diamond, let everybody know what you're doing with that.
Well, first of all, I've always had sort of a desire to serve since I was a little kid, and I've recently had my opportunity, so just trying to make the most out of that. And my envision is to kind of help kids, help student athletes that, because I was once in their shoes. I once wanted to get to the highest level, and I was fortunate enough to be put in that situation where I could achieve that. And so now it's just all about spreading what I've learned throughout the process and trying to help as many kids as possible get to that next level. So what I'm doing is I've worked with the Camp Curtin YMCA, the Hamilton Health Center, and to create a program that, like you said, will be benefiting the youth. It's kind of like a blueprint to make them successful. It'll be teaching them the ins and outs of recruiting, teaching them SAT prep, what to look for, how to talk to college coaches, touring schools, D1, D2, D3, just giving them that hope and that ability to experience something they've never experienced before. So with that being said, we're making this happen through an all-star game, which is, I'm very excited to present this for the first time. It'll be at the Farm Show May 10th, and we're working through selecting players right now, and it's going to be a huge event. So I'm just looking forward to getting the best players in the area and coming out and having some fun for a great cause.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, Diamond Bragg, and you really do know how to explain that. Good. And Bill and I from Linglestown Gazette Sports and Midstate-Sports.com, we're committed to helping you too, any way we can, because that's exciting. After I got off the phone with your dad, I called Bill right away, and I said, I just talked to Ben Bragg, and there's big things going on with Diamond. So, and Passion, are you going to help out with your sister's foundation?
A little bit, if she lets me.
You got your own stuff going on, right? All right, ladies, thank you. You want to give any shout out? This stuff's going to, the video is going to go on to sort of a montage. So whatever you shout out to, whoever you shout out to, might make it on the montage.
Okay. Oh, shout out to the girls that aren't here right now from Camp Hill. We're representing, but, you know, we're out here for you.
Our sponsors for tonight are Top Cash Pay 24/7, GQ Barbershop, Next Level Basketball Performance Academy, Ted's Bar and Grill, where we are tonight. Romeo and John helped us out a lot. Also, Neil Rinaldi Photography, NeilRinaldiPhotography.com. Matt Stambaugh at the Coalescence, he's doing our videography tonight. Coaches Bob Felker and Steve Little, sort of helping to greet the crowds, making sure everybody knows where the food is, helping them up to the dais here, to the interview table. Larry Bragg from Payer Apparel, which stands for Pay at Your Own Risk Apparel, and Greg and Kim St. Clair.